Hey guys, Nick here. So today we will be taking a look at the 2024 Yamaha Grizzly EPS. Now Yamaha makes three models in their Grizzly lineup. They make the EPS model, which is right here. Then they make the EPS SE model, which gives you more of a pure mud tire. It's a different wheel and tire setup on it. And of course you get a different graphic color package on that one. Then they make the XT-R, which is their top of line, which comes with what the SE has, those very special pure mud tire with real deep tread. And then on top of that, it comes with the Warn winch, which is all pre-installed from the factory, which is really nice. And again, that one has its own special color scheme for that one. So the EPS one's kind of the entry into the bunch there. What's nice about this one, and that stands out from the other two, is that it doesn't have those big mud flinger tires installed on it. So what's nice about that, if you're doing more neutral trail riding, you want to work the machine and just go around and kind of enjoy it, and you're not throwing it in the mud pits, this is a more ideal setup for you. As I've heard, those mud flinger tires, if you're going to be riding it on rocks or gravel roads, they like to throw rocks up a lot. So that's something to keep in mind if you're looking at those two models. But speaking of those two models, I did actually make a video last year on the EPS SE and the XT-R. Now Yamaha for 24 hasn't changed too much other than really graphics on these machines. So all the tech and everything is still going to be the same on those, and it's still current and useful information. Now speaking of those two models, I did make a video last year on the EPS SE and the XT-R combined, and I did a little bit of a comparison between the two. So if you want to get a feel for those and see what those wheel and tires look like and what those machines are about, then be sure to check that out. I'll have a card pop up in the corner of the screen and down below. So look at that after this one to get a feel for the lineup. And again, the only differences between those which were 23s and this one that's a 24 is going to be color schemes. So if you want to see 2024 color schemes for those models, you can just look at Yamaha's website and that'll kind of show you what those will look like. So that's enough talking about the lineup. Let's talk about this Grizzly right here. Now before this video goes on, I want to thank JAF Motors located in Glenville, New York for allowing me to film this Grizzly here today. If you would like to pick up this Grizzly right here or other Yamaha models, be sure to check them out. All of their info down below. And again, thank you to them for allowing me to film this here today. Let's continue with the video. So let's talk a little bit about the EPS model. Well, first of all, this has power steering. That's what the EPS stands for in all three of the models. So all Grizzlies come with power steering standard, which is a very nice feature. Talking about drivetrain, you got a 686cc liquid-cooled, fuel-injected single-cylinder engine, which is paired up to a Ultramatic transmission, which is a CVT. That's what Yamaha calls it if you look it up online. And what's special about their CVT transmission is they like to adjust through the clutches and not so much through the belt. So that allows Yamaha to not have belt slipping and belt wearing out issues and needing to replace belts on them. Now from that, Yamaha offers a 10-year warranty on their belt. And again, that's something you might want to look into on Yamaha's website and read more about. From that though, you got two-wheel, four-wheel drive selectable, as well you have full-on diff lock for the front end, and that's all electronic, which is really nice. You have an LED display, all digital dash, we'll get into that. You have LED headlights with a halogen top bulb in the head unit there. Something quickly I want to mention actually before we get right up close with it. Base MSRP is $11,399, and then you have a destination charge. So you just have one charge, which is nice. It's not like two separate fees, what a lot of other manufacturers do. So they just do one, and it's just everything combined. It's still right about the same as what everyone else kind of charges with that stuff. And then if you go through a good Yamaha dealer, hopefully you won't have too much of a prep or setup charge on top of that. But now let's actually get up close and look at the Grizzly. Now I wanted to give you first a little walk around on the Grizzly here. So we got like a white and gray color scheme. And then what's interesting how they did the logo, they did Grizz, and then you got the whole Grizzly name right there in like a yellow tint, which I think is a nice touch. And then the back of the machine's all white. And then coming down here, we can take a look at our wheel and tire setup. So you got a nice finished aluminum wheel there. Coming around back, of course, your independent rear suspension. You got your hitch, or your receiver, so you put your hitch right in there. Tow your trailers, LED tail light. Dash, of course, is right up there. But let's get more in depth and let's start right up front. Alrighty, so we're taking a close-up look under the front of the machine. Here's our top headlight. Here's the front of the machine, our fenders, right? So you get a sense of bearings here. Got air intake right here, battery, all your main fuses, electrical points. So all your main tech and electronics are high up in the front of the machine, which is important. You got an air intake nice and high on the machine at the highest point they could make it, which is, again, very important. Yamaha was thinking when they built and designed these machines. So if you ever want to add any accessories and wire anything in, it's all nice, easy to access. Everything's in one place, so you don't have to run stuff to the back of the machine, back to the front. They put everything right up front. Now let's move around to the side of the machine. Now taking a look at this side of the machine, you will find, of course, our gear selector, which we'll get up close and take a look at. More importantly, this cover here, that twists off. So when you twist it off, the cover comes off. Right there, that metal loop, you pull that, that's your dipstick right there, so you can check your oil. And then taking it on and off, you just twist it at a 45 degree angle, and then you straighten it back out, and that locks it into place. Alrighty, taking a look at the front of the machine, we're going to start on the right side here. 12-volt cigarette outlet, if you want to power any accessory stuff. Your main key, and you have a secondary key right there. Right here we got a storage compartment. Let's twist off one hand here. Nice sealed inside. Store whatever you want in there. Then in front of us, you have a load limit of 9 pounds, I guess, in this compartment. Books are in here. It's pretty deep storage. Goes back, goes forward a good ways. You can actually fit some larger items in there. Put whatever you want. Just warning stickers on your left side. We got our gear selector. Let's turn our key on. Here we are on our dash. EPS, electronic power steering. That goes away. Got a high beam light right there. Battery, temp light, check engine light. This is our gear selector. So we got park, we got reverse, we got neutral, we got high, and then we got all the way up front is our low range. So it's labeled right here on the dash, tells you what you're in. As well, on the gear selector right here, it even tells you what you are going into. Now, on our left side, our handlebar, we got our start. All the way down to our off on our headlights. On turns on our LED bottom beams, then our high beam turns on our top light right here. Just so you can kind of see it right there. Emergency kill, you got your override for your diff lock. Brakes, of course, and then you got a bottom brake there on your right side. On our right side here, you got our two-wheel four-wheel drive. So we're in two-wheel drive. We want to go into four-wheel drive. Pops up right there on our dashboard. Then we swipe over our yellow for our diff lock. Flashes there, flashes there. So that locks your front end. It's going to limit you in mile per hour how fast you can go. So that's what your override is for. You hold that, and that allows you to override and have basically full speed in diff lock. It's a safety feature, as it's going to be harder to steer and not want to turn. Undo that. Just hit your button, goes away. Hit your button again, all goes away. We got a temp light, which if we watch it here, it's going to slowly start going up as the machine's running, which is quite nice. We got an odometer with 2 trips. You got a wrench that comes on when it needs to get serviced. Down here you got a clock, hours, your voltage, and again back to temperature. I like usually running temperature and like just a standard odometer or a trip. See what your temperature's at. Now I'm sure you want to know what it sounds like, so I'll get you a couple sound clips of it just idling here, and then in a little bit we'll drive it around. Now, final thing I'll show you. since it does exist, you do have another storage compartment right here in the back. And that's really it in the back. Again, I already told you about your receiver there. So hook up, tow anything, it's ready to tow. And that's really it. Let's go drive it around. Well, that's going to do it on the EPS model from Yamaha. What a really nice performance machine here. It's got a lot of power if you want to do some real fast trail riding and aggressive riding, or if you want to work it or do some comfort riding. Now, if you want to look at one of the SE or XT-R models, again, check out my video, which will be linked down below in the description. Please comment down below if there's more units from Yamaha you'd like to see more often on my channel. I know I focus a lot of the Honda stuff, but that's usually what I can get my hands on more often and frequently. This stuff is a little more rare. I might have a bit of an overview video on a Yamaha snowmobile coming out sometime, so look for that. That, again, depends if it ends up being available where I can film something on it or not. But if you did enjoy, please subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Give the video a like, maybe share it with a friend or family member. And that'll do it. You guys all have a great day. Bye.